Alrick Show.
Hi, I'm Alrick and welcome to the show. Rosie Murray is a familiar face on television and on stage, a rich history and legacy. Today she is here with us on the Alrick Show. How you doing?
I'm a good man, I'm good.
It's kind of different for you today because usually you'd probably sit here.
Listen to me now, I'm nervous, I can tell you that, because I'm used to being over there asking the questions. So don't make me uncomfortable today with no question that me can't answer.
No man, it's everything that you have done in your lifetime almost.
I think we need days to do that.
All right, let's start. All right, so how did you become the woman that you are today in this moment with all the experiences? Tell me about Rosie now.
Wow. Okay. Rosie now in 2020. I would say that I have evolved into someone who is unafraid to take on anything. I've gone through my changes. I've had my insecurities. I have weathered many storms. I have taken on a lot of uncharted territories and have mastered it. And I'm here to tell people today that no matter what it is that you want to do, once you set your sights on what you want to do, you just chart the course on how to get it done.
How did you get clarity to go after the highest vision that you have for yourself? How did you get to that place?
Okay, so let me give you a little background. I am the first child and only girl for teachers who were in education. My father was a principal, my mother was a teacher. I think basically they instilled that in me, that you can't be unafraid. Although it was in the days of Aki crazy, so anybody look like you on television. But also my exposure living in England as a child, I think that propelled me into just taking it all on because I had a point to prove. I do chemistry, I do Latin, I do German, I do French. I took it all on because to me, I had to prove something. My father was also on staff because it was an exchange program. And my father was one of these really very bright and impressive gentleman rather. And I think I got that from him. Well, hey, when we leave here, they're going to remember us. People of color from the little island that come here and mash up everything.
You said you're unafraid, and
Yes.
it was almost unheard of back in your days to see your color on television. But you purpose in your heart that you make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from, but from a very little girl, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to entertain. I knew I wanted to do stage. I wanted to do television. And that time, it was the time of TV go off at a certain hour with all of the bars them. And it come on with Sunday matinee. You watch a matinee show. And there weren't really many people of color. But somebody that influenced me greatly was Leonie Forbes. And I'll always tell that story because, to get to a place where I've done several productions with her, where she's like my mother, I never knew that I would get here because back in the day it was like, she does radio and she has this beautiful voice and she does stage and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And then she kind of had the nose that me have. She didn't kind of look like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was, I can do that because that lady is doing it and I'm going to be able to do that.
Do you feel accomplished? So many things you've done the movies, you've done the on stage. Do you feel accomplished? What more?
I would say that I'm thankful for all of the opportunities that I have been graced with. I'm thankful for all of the opportunities that I have made happen. I'm thankful for life because I experienced a major health issue 2 years ago and I'm still here and standing. I would say that I do feel a sense of accomplishment, but I would like to do a little bit more to assist and abet and aid and hone younger people. It's a great thrill to me, and I can tell the story of being in media and doing the first interview of a lot of the artists that you see out here, and they were like first time on the program with me. And I remember just, what it was then, having them as a rookie, first time in studio, doing an interview, and just watching them soar and watching them rise and watching them become major stars now.
They give you a joy.
Listen, man. Sometimes I'll go to a show, I sit and I'll watch, and I'll remember, and people probably just see me stand up there or rock with the one big grin on my face. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, yeah, I saw it, I spotted it. I was there in the beginning, and look at this now. It's a joy. It's a joy. And sometimes it can be a little bit. Sometimes it can get the better of me, because if I'm in a situation and I see where I can assist, or I see somebody bumbling or making some errors, I'm the first one to jump in and say, come here. So here it is now. And I really say, do it, what you need to do is so and so and so. And some people might think or take offense to it, but trust me, it is all from here, and it's just wanting to see that person be the best that they can be.
I mean, and not a lot of people want that. For some people, though, want others to be so much better. But for you, it's fulfilling. Probably more than money.
More than money, and it is not just persons with talent. It is being able to even see somebody. Somebody did something once. I was in the hotel business. I was at Wyndham for quite a few years. And there was a young lady who came into the lobby once, and I don't know, there was just something about her. She was there waiting to do something. But anyway, she said, come in a member. She said, me call her over to my desk. I was guest relations manager at the time. And I had a pair of shoes in the drawer. And I said, come here. Them shoes, you look like them would fit you. And I said, yeah, man. Take them, man. A nice pair of red shoes. Them squeeze me. And I said, listen, whatever it is that you're waiting on, just do it, girl. Put on the red shoes if you want to. You know what I mean? This lady called me when I was at a radio station one Sunday evening. I was a little bit down that evening because a lot of things weren't going right. And she said, I've been listening to you and I've been wanting to call you for many, many years. But this evening, something told me to call you. She said, you remember a young lady that you gave a pair of red shoes to in the hotel at Wyndham? I said, not really. She said, well, let me tell you, I was there to get a job with someone, and I was very down. I didn't have anything going for me. And she said, you gave me that pair of red shoes. You just gave me the encouragement. She said, I wanted to know. I went on. It was actually a job to take care of somebody's children. She said, I've gone on. I've studied. I now have a degree. I'm married. I have my own children. And something told me to call you this evening and tell you thank you for that.
While you were having a down moment.
See ya? I like somebody to give me about $10 million. Let me tell you, moments like that are priceless.
We take a break. When we come back, we continue our story with Rosie Murray. Alrick Show. Welcome back to the Alrick Show. We continue our conversation with Rosie Murray. Now, Rosie, when you now appeared on television, remember you had that vision for yourself. Mm-hmm. When you appeared on television, how do you remember that moment?
Mercy. Let me see now. Major thing on television was Oliver at Large.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It was Oliver at Large. Done little things before, mm-hmm. Like I'd done like 1 or 2 music videos back in the day, but Oliver at Large was a real major thing.
What is it like working with the Oliver at Large, the Glenn Campbell, the Dian Silvera?
Mercy. Let me tell you, it's maybe we just take it for granted because we know each other, mm-hmm. and the creative process is so much more. Because then you pull the energy from, and you play off each other, and so it's really like it's like work without work. Mm. You know what I mean? Working with folks like that at first, it was a little bit daunting, because you've heard these names, and then you get thrown into theater, and then you realize that they know in a sense just like you, And then it becomes an experience because every production or every rehearsal or every show that you do, there's something else that happens because it really is magic, you know. Theater and film and all that is magic.
What are some of the experiences that you have had on stage that mirrored so many aspects of your life that has really kept you grounded?
Wow. The question is deep, you know, Alrick. No, it's deep because to be honest with you, the ability to convincingly play a role, especially when there are aspects to that character or the experience of that character that mirrors your life, sometimes can really mess with you. And I played a range of characters.
What is that one character that you know you still remember to this day? You had to put in so much of you into realizing this character, or not you.
Me, exactly.
Right.
The first one was back in the day as a young actress. I was asked to play a prostitute in night work. I never know nothing about them aspect of life, and all I knew was what I used to see on television. You know, So I got to the rehearsal and I swear that I was bringing it. And Stan Ayers, may his soul rest in peace, looked at me and said, "You know nothing about playing a prostitute. Go and do some research."
So go talk to a prostitute.
So me and my friend went, at the time it was New Kingston Hotel. After rehearsal, every night I would pack up in like a brown Avenger and we would watch this lady. She used to wear boots and shorts, and anybody coming from that time will know it's who. Well, let me tell you how I know I had it was the opening night of night work, and on top of it I was taking over a role that was played by an awesome actress and she had crushed it. So this was the second run and I was now playing this. How I know I had it was when I walk on that stage in the hot pink something in the platform shoes and I walk across the stage the night. And I did a little something with myself that I can't show you on TV. And I said, then at 5, I don't know. And the audience went, I said, yeah, I have it. That was one. Patience, as this is a role that I actually won Actor Boy for.
Great.
Which is a role that I had the least lines ever. Because most of what I said was diddy. And when I got the script at first, I was like, David, how can I eat that script this? And David Tuller, who wrote and directed it, said, Murray, the truth is that, you know, if you do some work on this, this might be one of your most amazing roles. And this was playing a disabled woman who had gone through a lot. And let me tell you, trust me, there are times that I felt I was losing myself on stage because I had to get into a whole rhythm, you know, like she would rock and she would ting and she would beat her head and she would, and there are times when I literally felt like I was losing myself because there was nothing.
Well, you had to lose yourself to live the true life.
When I say lose myself, I talk about truly losing myself, like I was not going to come back. But one of the greatest compliments that has ever paid doing that show was when somebody would come to me afterwards and say, Rosie, for the entire show I'm saying, how come Rosie said she in this show? And I never realized it was you until you come out for curtain call. Yeah.
How do you view failure?
I'm my greatest critic. And so even although persons might look at something that I've done and they may laud it and they may say, yeah, it's good. If I watch it or I see it and I don't feel that I gave it
the best
that
shot.
150, I consider that to be failure.
How do you move on from it?
That one the hard, sir. Let me tell you, my one-woman show, Slice of Life, it failed. The very first show that I did failed miserably because I did it almost like stand-up at a hotel. Let me tell you something, beat up myself. I didn't have much guidance because I wrote it as a show that would have been presented with music and blocking and what have you, and I presented it as a stand-up comedy show. And this was with strangers, it was with foreigners in a hotel situation, and it flapped. it did flop. But I did 1 hour. And my son, who is one of my biggest motivators, when I came back, I was like, Jesus, I can't believe my flopping up. And it was my mom, you did a 1 hour show. Nobody can take that from me, you know. You stood up and you did 1 hour. How many people can say they did a 1 hour stand-up act? Launch yourself from there.
You showed up nonetheless.
Yeah. And it took me a little while, but I said to myself, you know, I'm going to do this show. I'm going to do this show the way that the show should have been done. And I did. I did it as a birthday show the following year. And that show has gone on. I now have a 1 hour special that was recorded, Slice of Life. I performed it abroad. I've done it on stage, and it was recorded. And I have it, and it will be doing a lot more shows on the road in 2020.
Great. So keep moving. For a lot of persons, there are times when we fail at something, and we decide to just pack it up and keep moving.
Can't pack it up. You must believe in you. You must believe in what you have to offer. You must believe in your product. You must believe in your ability. You must believe that God knows that you chart a course, and I'm going to be there to hold your hand and guide you through. And yes, I always say, there's nothing wrong with falling down, you know.
True.
There's nothing wrong. It's how you recoup. It's how you get up. It's how you get up, stand up, brush yourself off and say, yeah, all right, see me now.
You spoke about your son. What's motherhood like?
Oh, motherhood is one of the most awesome experiences one could ever have.
Who's your only child?
Only child. One source of pitney. I call him a one pitney. Even though he's 31 now, I still call him a one pitney. And even that had its story, because I actually was on a show talking about that particular experience. I think every woman should have a child. Even if you cannot bear a child, you should have a child in your life. It offers you an opportunity to see things from a totally different perspective. There are some things that I just never imagined would look that way from that angle. I remember being on the road with him because he was like my handbag. You know, he used to go everywhere with me because I was a single parent for the early part of his life. And I would see him stop and be looking up at something, and then I would get down to that level and look up at it, and I was like, dang, I never knew that the thing would look like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I would advise any woman, even if you have issues and you can't produce and have your own child, have a child in your life.
They help you to look on things
Yes,
a new perspective. And to appreciate the small things.
What, man? Not just small things. Your whole attitude towards life will change.
So we take a break. When we come back, we talk more with Rosie on the Alrick Show.
Alrick Show.
Welcome back to the Alrick Show. We're talking about being on stage, being on television, and on radio with the professional Rosie. Rosie, no, radio, television,
Yes.
you have movies. It's like you've done it all. It's like an MC full
I
circle.
select music because I play for parties and stuff too.
Why do you get yourself involved in so many? Rosie, is that,
All right, no. I love music. I love music bad. From as young, I remember saving up my money to buy records, which I still have some vinyl. Yeah, with the name. I used to call myself Tigress back in the day. And listen up.
DJ Tigress.
May I tell you? And you see, there's this thing about sharing, you know.
Right.
And the joy that people get from
True, man.
being entertained. That, I mean, there's like nothing like it. Playing out at a party and you see people come in and they're very stoic and very whatever. And then the music start to move through them soul.
You see, the thing is, Rosie, people are so stressed. And when we can create that opportunity for people to unwind and to pull themselves together.
It's a joy.
Mercy.
It is a joy. So, I don't know. I just think that I've been blessed with many gifts and many talents and the opportunity to share it I've made those opportunities, and where they have laid themselves for me to seize, I've seized them, and I've just gotten great joy from it. A lot of people will look on and say, every time you see you always a laugh or you always a smile or whatever. But it is just the fact that I have lived through so many of my dreams, and I've shared so much with so many persons who will just walk up to me. And even today, I was sitting down in the lobby, and a lady came up. She said, "Hi." And I said, "Hi." And when she was leaving, she said, "I love to watch you."
Mercy.
You know?
What does living mean to you now? What does true living mean to you now?
Okay. Waking up every day and having life, breathing, embracing strangers who just make you feel as if they're your family. You are their family. My dog, them. Going into the kitchen and creating a meal or baking something that when you see somebody taste it, you see that, first of all, it's like the face go through a whole thing. It's like, and you know that the love that you put into it, them tasting it, them enjoying it, giving thanks to my Creator, and knowing that I'm walking in my Creator's light, and He has blessed me and He has kept me.
You had a medical condition how long ago? 2 years ago?
2 years
2
ago,
years ago?
I had a major heart attack. And that experience really opened my eyes to who I was, because I'd gone through some changes. I needed funding to get the angioplasty done. And my son decided that, hey, you're not going to make pride make you sit down here and did. So I'm going to do X and Y. And let me tell you, the outpouring of love and support that came, even to this day. I walk into places and people say, "Oh God, I'm so happy to see you up and about." Let me tell you, man, I put on some piece of ball in this Alrick, because it was just not knowing that the work that you've done or all that I've done in my life had that effect on so many persons.
So many people are in love with you.
Oh my goodness. And it humble you, you know.
Yes.
It humble you. It don't make you get up on the pedestal. It humbles you, and it makes you even more thankful for all of the blessings that you have received, because you're able to share it.
In those moments when you're in the hospital, what was going through your mind? What was the kind of reflection that you were having?
That's exactly it. And this has given me a totally different perspective on life, because I realized that in those moments, it wasn't about anything material.
Mercy, yes.
It wasn't about me car, my horse or not. It was about, oh my goodness, you know, I promised to do X and Y and Z for somebody, and I'm not going to be able to do it. Well, thank God, I did tell my son that I love him Christmas Day. Wow. It was about the things that mattered. And so, boy, let me tell you, when I got past that, because I mean, it's still a process in that after you've gone through that, you never really get back to 100%. So my diet has changed, my whole outlook on life has changed.
You know, it is so important that we help people around us to get to that place, to let them recognize the things that really matter. You know, your family, your friends, spending time with your children.
Yes.
These are, is that so much about the big car and the big houses and stuff like that?
There was nothing like that crossed my mind. It was, well, thank God I made peace with so and so and so, and yeah, okay, all right. And everything got very bright. So it's not a one light, you see. Everything got very bright. But seriously, I wouldn't say that I'm happy that it happened, but I would say that I'm thankful that because of that experience, my connection with people and the universe and my soul and my God, my Creator, all of that has been strengthened.
What do you think your greatest legacy will be? Or how do you want people to perceive that?
Somebody who did have a whole heap of love in our heart that did share it. And laughter. Love and laughter.
Thank you so much. I still wait to see you on stage to get some more love and laughter from Rosie. All right. Do you have any plays coming up?
Not immediately, but later. 2020, we're coming feet. Me and Diane.
All right. Thank you so much. I want to thank Rosie for sharing with us today on the Alrick Show. The Alrick Show will be back next week.
Alrick Show.